All right, Shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakah Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. I'm back with another quick lesson through the Holy Spirit of the Rakah Quadash. And this article goes back to January 19th, 2026. And the headline reads, it says, "What is Blue Davos? And why 2026, the year of water, all you need to know?" Okay, so I have been talking about this for a little while now, that back earlier on this year, I want to say the latter end of 2025, the heads of the World Economic Forum, they were speaking about the war on water, right? As you see what's going on right now. Okay, the orchestrated famines, okay, food shortages, water shortages, the AI data centers that are drinking up all the water. Okay, all this is tied into that, and I want to just put it all together because I got a few videos here just to show you, because I'll kind of be all over the place, but Lord willing, this lesson be edifying, right? So here's another article we'll come back to. This is from globalresearch.ca. It says water has emerged as a central geopolitical risk. You see, and what you're going to see is that this whole agenda on the water supply has been set up, right?
This new guy, Peter Brabeck, was the former CEO of Nestle, and Nestle has been really controversial in their whole water rights. Now, you might think of Nestle as like the oatmeal or the chocolate milk company, but they actually are very, very involved in water rights around the world. This guy has said water isn't a human right, and that's a quote. He's now the head of the Communist World Economic Forum. Should we be scared, or should we continue to laugh these people off? Obviously, we should continue fighting them, but how would we best do that?
Expose them. But I will say of this, I'm almost a little proud of the WEF. They had such an awful branding with Klaus Schwab, but they said,
we're sticking to the brand.
and I really like when people find their niche and stick to it, and they just said, we are gonna go all in on picking just the most moronic, scary individual to run this show. And for that, I have to say, well done.
I love that. That's, yes, stick to the brand. Your brand is
woke, crazy communist.
And they didn't deviate from that. They actually went in that direction, which, despite how wrong they can be, there's a little bit of respect that goes into being able to understand, hey, here's what we are. We're going to be all of it. This new guy.
Yeah, these devils, they're deadly serious. All right? Again, this is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You can't make this up.
It's around the world. This guy has said water isn't a human right, and that's a quote.
Yeah, water isn't a human right. Come on, man. This is Proverbs 29 and verse 2. And it reads, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn." Okay? They're purposely bringing in a water crisis, man. On top of the AI data centers. All right? We'll come back to this too. All right? This is from WashingtonPost.com. It says how data centers became a symbol of Americans' rage. Feeling ignored by political and economic powers, people are rallying against computer hubs over concerns about their community's future, all right? Because the data centers are poisoning the water, okay? They're taking up all the waters in these different states, okay? And a lot of that water that we're finding out is being put back into on the crops, which is also contributing to this parasite that's causing people to have explosive diarrhea. Okay, so this man is really the devil. All right, now check out this too. I got a little bit more before we move on, right? Because this is back from 2022 from the World Economic Forum, as I've been talking about, right? Listen to this.
Well, no. Did we solve that? Did we actually manage to vaccinate everyone in the world? No. So highlighting water as a global commons and what it means to work together and see it both out of that kind of global commons perspective, but also the self-interest perspective, because it does have that parallel. It's not only important, but it's also important because we haven't managed to solve those problems which had similar attributes. And water is something that people understand. Climate change is a bit abstract. Some people understand it really well. Some understand it a bit. Some just don't understand it. Water, every kid knows how important it is to have water. When you're playing football and you're thirsty, you need water. So there's also something about really getting citizen engagement around this and really in some ways experimenting with this notion of the common good. Can we actually deliver this time in ways that we have failed miserably other times? And hopefully we won't keep failing on the other things, but anyway.
Yeah, see, so taking away the water from the people was already pre-planned. All right? Here's another one.
Now we need to put the economics of water, not only in terms of monetary values, but also in terms of governance, in terms of recognizing water as a commons that we now need to manage as a broad systems approach. So that's why this commission is not only necessary, but urgent to take this challenge on. You know, not only have we not focused on economics of water, when we have focused on water, we've only focused on drinking water, domestic water, and that is roughly 150 liters per person per day, which is what the wealthy are using. It's a review on the economics of water, and we will be looking at the value of water and considering different novel economic policy measures, of which one may be, for example, putting some form of price on water in order to guide and give incentives, but not as a price to punish those who are poor, but rather to reward those that are stewards of fresh water for the common good. So this is quite an exciting moment.
Yeah, see? They're going to control the water. Food is going to be rationed. Water is going to be rationed. Okay? This is the time that's coming upon the earth. All right? And this devil is not showing any mercy. All right? Let me get that too. All right? Because he's not going to receive any mercy. Okay? Was that James 2:13? Let's pull that up real quick. James chapter 2. In verse 13, and it reads, it says, for he shall have judgment without mercy, that have shown no mercy, and mercy rejoiceth against judgment. Right? This devil is not going to receive no mercy, man. Okay? It's all an orchestrated famine and water shortage right here. So it's been in the making for years. Okay? And I have found this out, like I said, around the end of 2025. Okay, there was this big article that came out with the WEF, and the guy who was speaking, I believe it was him, but they were saying that there's going to be a war on water. All right, and this is what we're in the midst of right now. All right, let's go back to this article here. Okay, so again, this is from news18.com, came out January 19, 2026. It says, what is Blue Davos and why 2026, the year of water? All you need to know, right? It says the WEF will highlight water ecosystems, the global water cycle, the blue economy as key areas for global cooperation at Davos, right? It says Blue Davos refers to a special focus on water, especially oceans, fresh water, and water-related systems. At this year's World Economic Forum annual meeting at Davos, Switzerland. It says the WEF from January 19th to January 19th to the 23rd will highlight water ecosystems, the global water cycle, and the quote blue economy, oceans, fisheries, freshwater systems as a key area for global cooperation at Davos. Sessions and initiatives under Blue Davos will explore how water affects climate resilience, food security, right? Trade and communities worldwide. It says the water crisis in numbers. The out of balance water cycle impacts every sector, economy, and person, right? 1 billion people lack access to properly managed drinking water, and we're going to make a point on that too. 4 billion people lack safety managed sanitation. 75% live in 101 countries that have been losing fresh water for 22 years. It says 2/3 river basins either exceeded or fell short of discharge levels in 2024. It says 400 GT of ice lost from glaciers each year. And who's all behind that? Okay, it's these elites, these top devils, these Edomites, man. They're bringing in this world catastrophe, man. Let's just summarize it real quick. All right? Let's see what we get. It's a long article here. We're just going to just highlight points. All right? Okay, it says, as we just read, the global water crisis by the numbers. Access 1 billion people lack safety managed drinking water, 4 billion lack safe sanitation. Economic risk, 31% of global GDP will be exposed to high water stress by 2050. Okay, why is 2026 the year of water? The UN World Water Conference, the year culminates in the third UN World Water Conference, December 2nd to the 4th, hosted by the UAE, the first of its kind in nearly 50 years. Global Reset 2026 is viewed as a pivotal year to drive political commitment, equitable access, and practical solutions for water action globally. Let's see what else we got. Okay. Economic and stability sessions, discussions like water in the balance, framing water as the foundation for global stability. Velocity of the blue economy, highlighting a sector projected to be worth over $3 trillion by 2030. All right. So they got all these different so-called initiatives to, to save humanity, to save the water, but they're the ones that's orchestrating all of this, man. Okay, this is the devil. All right. Again, Isaiah. Let's get this in Isaiah 24 real quick. Okay, Isaiah 24:1, and it reads, "Behold, the Lord Yahweh Shai maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. And it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, so with the servant, so with his master, so with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him." Verse 3, "The land should be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for the Lord Yahweh Shai has spoken this word." So really, this is all the judgment of the Lord anyway. Okay? And the Lord is using his left hand, okay, the wicked, the Edomite, to do it. Verse 4, "The earth mourneth and fadeth away, and the world languish and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish," right? So as a result of this so-called water crisis, man, okay, it's going to result in the death of a lot of people. And it's going to be through what? Through water shortages and famines. Okay? On top of the AI, tainting the water supply, man, and drinking up all the waters in the rivers and the basins and all of that. Okay? This is a real problem that's only going to escalate, right? It says, this is NLT, verse 4, Isaiah 24:4. "The earth mourns and dries up." Okay? And the earth is literally drying up. You got the heat wave, you got the AI, you got this water crisis, man. "The earth mourns and dries up, and the land wastes away and withers. Even the greatest people on earth waste away." All right, verse 5. It says, "The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant." You see that? And this is all through the hands of the elites. All right, the bankers, the top Edomite families, man, that rule this earth. Okay, they're defiling and polluting and destroying the world, and this is all part of the plan. All right, but again, it's the judgment of Yahweh Shemel Shai. All right, let's add some more. So back to this. In globalresearch.ca, water has emerged as a central geopolitical risk. All right, let's do a quick summary, and we'll get to some of these videos here. All right, it's about to get real, man. Plagues, famines, all right, water crises, right, all that. Okay, let's see what we got. Overview, security shift. Water is no longer viewed solely as an environmental or developmental issue. It is now recognized as a central national security concern and a key driver of global geopolitical stability, right? So with no water, you're going to have all types of instability around the world, all right? But remember that devil said water isn't a human right, all right? So pay attention to what these devils are doing. Risk multiplier, the global water crisis combined with climate change and resource competition increases the likelihood of conflict and threatens the international order, right? So it's going to be straight chaos behind all of this, man. Okay? So we'll get into the drivers, the key drivers of water insecurity. Okay? It says environmental pressures, climate change, severe droughts, and unstable water regimes from extreme rainfall drastically reduce predictable water availability. Okay? And it reads on. Yeah, so you get it. So now check these videos out, right? It's all going to make sense here, right?
If you're in America, this information I'm getting ready to share with you is going to piss you off. So if you have a weak stomach, go ahead and skip this video right now. But we're going to talk about the cyclosporosis, what's been happening in America, that parasite that causes explosive diarrhea. I think I have something that nobody's talking about of how something like this could happen, and it's going to make you very angry. So what's happening, guys, is that cyclosporosis, it comes from human feces, meaning somehow the vegetables came in contact with human feces. How does that happen in a country like America? How does something like that happen? Well, if you guys don't know, there was something going on with fertilizer about, I guess when the war and all that stuff started, there was something going on with fertilizer. So if they were having a shortage on fertilizer, what do third world countries do when they don't have fertilizer? They use human feces as manure. Think I'm lying? I'm gonna give you a term to look up right now, and this is why this is happening in America. It's called night soil. Read it, pause and read it. And if that don't make you mad, that means your country is turning into a third world. I'm out.
So there's a process that's actually legal in many states. It's called sewage to tap. It is a process to where they take the sewage water, like waste, and they refine it, and then it goes through a whole process, basically recycled water, and it comes back to your tap.
When you flush, it flows through a pipe and into a basin underground. From here, it meets up with a water treatment plant, where the sewage undergoes a process called water reclamation. This process removes large solids and uses bacteria to break down any other organic matter. It's then filtered and disinfected using ultraviolet light. And once it has met the standards for drinking water, it's sent right back up to your tap for you to enjoy.
So shit water. Wow.
So this is in many states. It's in Texas, California, Virginia. It's in many, like 25 states.
Is it in Maryland? If it's in Maryland, did you hear about the kid, or did you see the kid that was on the amusement ride, and then the water he was in was like shit water?
Yeah.
What? Did you see that?
Now, they're saying that the fresh produce that you're getting this cyclospora parasite, right? Now you have to get organic produce because they're spraying the produce with this water. So if you get organic, then they're spraying it with fresh water. It's a different, irrigation system altogether. You got another super chat. 1999 Red Nose says, I used to work for the water company in the DMV. We had a big dookie spill.
How do you have a dookie spill?
That's
who's dookie?
I don't. Everybody's
everybody's dookie.
Like if they work for the water company, because I'm saying the sewage to tap has to do with the irrigation system. Like everybody's waste is all together.
Congratulations, you fucked my coffee up.
And then everybody they run it through a system. Have you seen those plants where they actually run through? They're recycling the water essentially.
Ask me the movie.
I don't want to know.
Well, I don't even want to know this movie.
It's a huge movie too.
Huge and dookie. I'm not. Yeah. Doom. Yeah, I never seen.
Oh, I thought you meant Doom. You said Doom.
Doom. Okay. They had bodysuits that literally recycled their own water over and over. So your sweat, your feces, like all of that. The suit would suck all that up, and it would feed it back to you. And they had a tube that they had attached to the suit, and they could just drink their own shit. So
yeah, so
If you're in America,
so everybody's
If you're in America-
eating and drinking, basically shit and piss, recycled. Okay, that's a reality here, man. You see that? And it's all contributing to the pestilence. That, like they said, they're spraying the produce with this piss and shit. Okay? We need salvation, man. That's all I can say. Right? Real quick, Jeremiah 28:8. This is why people are getting sick all over America. Okay? Jeremiah 28:8. And it reads, it says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. See? This is part of the pestilence that's going on right now. Contaminated water being used to irrigate the produce. Okay? People are drinking this recycled piss and shit out of the tap. Okay? Pestilence, man. Pestilence, plague, marine cattle disease, cattle plague. All right, this is a plague that's going on, man. That's in the food, right? Ezekiel, where's that one? Ezekiel 6:11, right? Ezekiel chapter 6 verse 11. It says, "Thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, smite with thy hand and stamp with thy foot, and say, Alas, for all the evil abominations of the house of Israel. For they shall fall by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence." Verse 12, "He that is afar off shall die of the pestilence, and he that is near shall fall by the sword, and he that remaineth and is besieged shall die by the famine. Thus will I accomplish my fury upon them." This is the judgment of the Lord. Right? NLT, Ezekiel 6:11, this is the sovereign Lord says, "Clap your hands in horror and stamp your feet, cry out because of all the detestable sins the people of Israel have committed. Now they are going to die from war and from famine and disease. Disease will strike down those who are far away in exile. War will destroy those who are nearby, and anyone who survives will be killed by famine. So at last I will spend my fury on them." See, so serious judgment is going out here, man. Okay, this is no joke. And these devils are doing exactly what they've been planning on to do. This is why 2026 has been coined the year of water. Okay, it's all by design here, man. Right? Let me get a little bit more. Okay, I was thinking about that one, and then 2nd Ezra 8. Okay, 2nd Ezra 8, and just talking about the judgments of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The 2nd Ezra 8 and 55. And it reads, "And therefore ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish." All right, 2/3. That's the multitude that's been set up to perish. For when they had taken liberty, they despised the Most High, thought scorn of his law, and forsook his ways. Moreover, they have trodden down his righteous, and said in their heart, There is no God, yea, and that knowing they must die. Right? For as the things aforesaid shall receive you, so thirst and pain are prepared for them. See that? These judgments that are going out are prepared for these 2/3, the wicked. For it was not his will that men should come to naught, but they which be created have defiled the name of him that made them, and were unthankful unto him which prepared life for them. And therefore is my judgment now at hand. You see that? So this is the judgment of the Lord that's being prepared. It is now at hand. Isaiah 65. Okay, because in the midst of all of this, the Lord said that his servants was going to eat. Right? Let's get that too. In the midst of this famine, the plagues, pestilence, these water shortages and all of that. Isaiah 65 and 13. And it reads, "Thus saith the Lord, power, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty." Hey, the servants of the Lord are going to have, clean food to eat and water to drink. The Lord's going to provide that, man. As these things continue to get way worse. "But ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed." Right? "Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit, man. Hey, this shit is no joke. Okay? They're really getting rid of the water supply, man. Okay? Soon to come, food and water will be rationed. Okay? People are eating, food that's been sprayed with fucking, recycled piss and water, man. Okay? This is what it's saying. Water has emerged as a central geopolitical risk. We're in the middle of it now, man. Okay? Back to this article. All right? It says, back in the WashingtonPost.com, it says how data centers became a symbol of Americans' rage, right? Let's go down. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and summarize it so we get to the point for time. Okay? These data centers are fucking the water up, man. They're poisoning the water supply. All right? On top of, drink, because the water, the data centers require so much water to cool the systems down, man. So all the water is being used up. No more fresh water. All right? It's all by design. Anyway, it says here, core issue in public sentiment, widespread opposition. Roughly 7 in 10 Americans oppose having data centers built near them, uniting public against the spiraling complexes powering the AI boom. And we did lessons a couple weeks back going into the fact of those who are speaking out against the AI and the data centers and the technology. They want to label you as a domestic threat. So you already know where this is going. Symbol of frustration, data centers have become a physical manifestation of America's anger toward powerful, unaccountable political and economic systems. All right? How does it go? The oppressors slay you and they hold themselves not guilty. Right? Primary concerns, residents are frustrated by the secrecy of the projects, the heavy consumption of land, water, and electricity, and the resulting increases of household utility bills, right? Fear of exploitation. Many communities worry these developments represent a new cycle of resource extraction that will fail to deliver promised jobs or lasting economic revitalization. Okay? So people are pissed, and you got people rising up, all right, that are speaking out against this, that are protesting against this stuff, right? And it's getting ready to go. Okay? It's a Sirach, the 10th chapter. All right? Hey, this devil's an unwise king. Right? Sirach 10 and verse 4, I believe, right? This is Sirach 10 and verse 3, and it reads, it says, an unwise king destroyeth his people. Okay? You see what these devils are doing. All right? An unwise king destroyeth his people, man. All right? It says, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. This is why the world needs the elect. This is why the righteous has to get put back in power, man. This man is literally destroying the whole earth, as we read in Isaiah 24, right? This is Psalm 85 or 82 in verse 5. And it reads, they know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. All right. This man has literally turned the whole world upside down, man. Okay. Everything's polluted, defiled, sick, dying off. Okay. We need salvation. What else can we say, right? Verse 4, Sirach 10 and 4, or Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 4, the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. All right, so the world needs Yahweh Shem Yahushai, okay, and the elect. Okay, that's the only way the earth is going to get put back in its rightful order. All right, but these devils, man, diabolical. Okay, you see what's going on, man. Orchestrated famines, plagues, water shortages. Okay, the food supply being poisoned. All right, there you have it. And America is headed, or should not say headed, but America's a third world country. Right? I was looking that up too when Jake was talking about the what's going on here, right? It's clearly a third world country. Let me play this too. Right?
I mentioned many times that human water consumption limits AI's potential. That is exactly why those who throw a few $1,000s into the United States Water Reserve now are going to become very wealthy.
This right here is exactly what Bezos is talking about. It's already on Coinbase and it's called USWR. And as more people find out about it, it's going crazy. So what USWR is all of America's water supply under one asset. And look at what this Fox News announcement says. It says Trump announces United States Water Reserve at G7 summit in front of world leaders. Multiple global leaders agreed to make water a tradable asset. And in multiple interviews, Bezos himself has said that AI's potential is getting limited because of human water consumption. The United Nations warned that AI will drink as much water as 1.3 billion people need by 2030.
You won't believe what Jeff Bezos is up to. Jeff Bezos is building a mega bunker in Miami. At the same time, he's asking people to stop drinking water. Sounds insane, right? It's absolutely true. Jeff is quietly combining 3 waterfront properties on Miami's Indian Creek Island, commonly known as the Billionaire Bunker, and he's turning them into one massive private compound worth around $250 million. The people working on it aren't your average architects either. We're talking about the same firms behind the Las Vegas Sphere, Apple's iconic glass cube, and even conceptual designs for a human colony on Mars. According to reports, the estate could include private theaters, luxury pools, and nearly 6 acres of heavily landscaped grounds. Of course, we know
they don't care, man. All right, it's all part of the plan to depopulate the world. All right. Isaiah 32:6. Okay. Because Isaiah 32:6, it says, "For the vile person will speak villainly." All right. You heard what Jeff Bezos said. All right. And all these top technocrats and, billionaire trillionaires on these platforms. All right. Scripture says they speak lawfully concerning oppression. Right. It says the vile person will speak villainly, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. See? NLT, for fools speak foolishness and make evil plans. All right? This is all part of the evil plans. Okay? This war on water, this water crisis, man. It says, for fools, NLT, Isaiah 32:6, NLT, for fools speak foolishness and make evil plans. They practice ungodliness and spread false teachings about the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. They deprive the hungry of food and give no water to the thirsty. Check that out. Man.
all these tech guys have bunkers, even though they don't admit this.
There's this whole meme about how people are saying I built this like bunker underground. It's like more of underground storage situation. But yeah, no, it's
Oh wow, Zucky got that bunky. Do you have a bunker?
I have like underground concrete heavy reinforced basements, but I don't have anything I would call a bunker.
Hold on, dude. Look, I'll let you keep me on the ropes in a lot of this conversation, but I am gonna call that out as a dang bunker, dude.
We also know they're suddenly building more of these bunkers because of the AI threat.
Avoid a crisis, yes, and it's this could push unemployment to 20% within 1 to 5 years. I'd be interested to see if you think that that's conservative or on point. Is this kind of looming disruption why the billionaires are building bunkers?
Yes, actually, it's one of the reasons. Generally, it's what they do, but I know a lot of AI CEOs now have cancelled all public appearances.
And yet, Jeff keeps telling us to stop worrying about AI.
Many people have, including many smart people, that AI is going to make humans redundant and so on. I totally disagree with this point of view, and I think, in fact, AI is going to create a labor shortage because it's going to make it possible for people to identify more problems. We have an endless set of things to invent.
He also doesn't want you to think about AI taking away your water. According to him, it's all worth it because once we have an AI overlord, he can solve all of our water issues. So just stop drinking water for now.
Go. Say you can't make this up, man. We at the end. All right. Let's go to this article here. All right, this is from The Economist. All right. America is mighty, but becoming less dominant. Ahead of its 250th birthday, an empirical look shows the world's leading country no longer stands so far apart. See, we've been talking about this for all month, man, all year. All right, eagle right on the edge. The stick's gonna break. All right. Now we're not gonna read through this whole thing. Let's just take a couple of points and we'll wrap this up. But the point is made, man. This whole water crisis thing is set up. All right. So the whole world is getting ready to go through it. Okay? Famines, plagues, all of that, shortages. Okay? Let's see what we get here, man. Absolute strength versus relative decline. Overall standing, the United States. The United States is currently richer, militarily stronger, and more technologically advanced than at any point in its history, though its overwhelming global dominance is relatively eroding. All right, the power is gone. Sit on the throne. Sit on the ground. There is no throne or virgin daughter of Babylon. All right. Let's see what we got. We're not gonna read all of that. Military and geopolitical might. Unmatched assets. The U.S. military benefits from immense historical spending, deep operational experience, and superior technology, boasting 11 operational aircraft carriers compared to China's 3. Financial weaponry, the persuasive use of the U.S. dollar in global trade and foreign exchange allows America to effectively utilize economic sanctions against adversaries. Limitations of hard power. Recent history in the Middle East has proven the military superiority does not guarantee strategic success, and adversaries continue to leverage asymmetric threats like resource blockades, which is going on with the Strait of Hormuz. Okay. Yeah, that's it, man. So you see it, man. The glory, the might that America once had is done, man. Okay, this shit is over with, right? But the point again is that the water crisis has all been set up. There you have it. Shalom.